Oh, we're going to launch. Is it? Okay, is that clock right? Is that what we're going with? Yeah, we're good. Okay. I would like to call this meeting to order, the Public Works Committee of the City of Rapid City at 12:30 p.m. on Tuesday, April 9th. First order of business is roll call and determination of a quorum. Shannon?
Scott? Here. Nordstrom? Drew?
Here.
Modrick?
Here.
Robert?
Thank you. Next is adoption of the agenda. Moved by Scott, second by Modrick to adopt the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
The agenda is adopted. Now it's time for general public comment, a time for members of the public to discuss or express concerns to the committee on any issue not limited to items on the agenda. Action will not be taken at the meeting on any issue not on the agenda except by placement on the agenda by unanimous vote of the council members present. And I have no slips. So general public comment is now closed. We go on to consent items 1 through 14. Public comment is now open on items 1 through 14. We have no slips for comment on those either, so public comment is now closed. Now I go to the committee to see if they'd like to remove any items from consent. Chair recognizes Richie Nordstrom.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item 5, please.
Item 5, I see no other lights. I would like to remove item 3 and item 11. I need a motion to accept the remainder of the agenda. Moved by Scott, second by Modrick, and all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It was slow, but it's a yes, and the rest of the agenda is approved. We'll take item number 3 first, and that was my item, so I'll go ahead and read that. Authorize staff to seek proposals for engineering services for 12th Street reconstruction, West Main Street to Fulton Street, project number 19-2499/CIP 50927, and I'd like to ask Dale Tech a couple questions on this one. So Dale, what exactly is, we're just asking for engineering services on 12th Street, and there will be an eventual reconstruction of that street?
That is correct. This is a first step in kicking off a project, if you will, is to hire a consultant to do the design work on this particular project. It's planned in our CIP, so money's available for the design, and then I believe the construction is slated for the years 2021 and 2022. So that gives adequate time for our design consultant to get on board, to get a design, and then to address any right-of-way issues, if you will, or other things that we have long lead times on.
Well, I am familiar with 12th Street as is part of my ward, and does this do the entire stretch of 12th Street from, West Main to the top?
West Main to Fulton Street is the limits of this project, and I guess the two key components, obviously the street will be rebuilt. There is water infrastructure in there that is in need of an upgrade, as well as stormwater pipes that need to be installed.
So will the Fulton Street project be completed by the time this starts in construction?
Yes, the current Fulton Street project that is underway or just started this spring will be completed in the month of November of this year. So yes, that project will be completed before this project even gets kicked off.
Excellent news. Okay, thank you. I need a motion. Motion by Nordstrom to approve, second by Modrick. All in favor?
Aye.
It passes, and we're on to item number 5. This was pulled by Mr. Nordstrom. Approved contract extension on contract awarded May 2017 to Simon Hills Materials for the purchase of hot mix asphalt for the use by various city departments. And so we'll go to Richie now on this item.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, if I may, is to approve the contract extension. Make a motion.
Second.
And then retain the floor.
Go ahead.
What I've got for information, and let's look to Mr. Tech as to confirm this, approximately April 22nd, we'll be starting up the hot mix plant, and all things look good, and so we'll start seeing potholes getting filled. So just looking for a confirmation.
I can't confirm that date.
Yes.
If I could, I would.
Yes.
Certainly, we, as Public Works Department, with all the street work that we do, are very anxious to have the hot mix available to us. Certainly, the materials we use throughout the wintertime do a pretty good job of patching holes that we have. However, hot mix is much better product rather, and we certainly anticipate the startup. With impending winter weather we have this week, that may delay the startup a day or two, I don't know, but certainly we're quite anxious for the availability of this product.
As we all are. In fact, we're getting some phone calls on that. And then just want to remind the folks, too, about the pothole hotline that they can reach as well. So 394-4152. So give them a call on that when we get after this next storm. And then we will be looking forward to getting all these potholes filled. And then after that, it will be all of the road reconstruction that's going to be taking place here. So really looking forward to a very productive year. Thank you. Yield.
And I have an additional question for Mr. Tech. Dale, does the city only fix the potholes that are called in, or do they fix other things as well as you see them?
Absolutely not. I mean, yes, any call that we get, we try to respond to as quickly as we can, but our crews are out continually finding holes and fixing them. So, yeah, it's not just the ones that get called in, it's ones that are observed as they're out and about.
Thank you. So, no other lights. Motion to approve by Nordstrom, second by Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
And the motion is passed. Okay, so let's go on to item number 11. This is a hot one here, I'll tell you what. Okay, approve advertising authority for purchase of one current model year vacuum street sweeper estimated at a cost of $267,000. I pulled this item particularly because of a discussion that occurred with me and a constituent. When you're sweeping the streets, there's also a vacuum going on here. This is for Dale Tech.
Yeah, the street sweepers we have are surprisingly a lot like the vacuum cleaner that you use on your carpets at home. They have brushes that loosen the material that's deposited along roads, curb and gutter, or even in the travel lane, and then it physically vacuums up that material into a holding tank, if you will. Water is used during the process to keep the dust down as they're sweeping, and then when they're full, that material is transported down to the street department where it's washed out of the vehicle, and then that material is ultimately trucked to the landfill and used as cover for our landfill. So these pieces of equipment are, I won't say self-destructive, but it's a very harsh environment for them to work in. We have approximately 10 street sweepers, and we sweep year-round. We're one of very few communities that if it's above freezing in the wintertime, we're out sweeping, picking material up off our roadways, and it really shows. I think if you go to some other communities at the end of a long winter, the amount of debris along their roadways is quite noticeable compared to Rapid City.
And one of the end products of doing this vacuuming and cleaning is actually keeping our drains clear for when the floodwaters come, and they will come, and they come all year for us. So that's why we have to do this during the entire
Absolutely.
year.
We actually do it for two reasons, air quality and water quality. So an effort to keep the dust down when things dry out and that material is along the roadway, we want to get it picked up, and that's why we sweep in the wintertime, and then same in the summertime. We want to keep the streets clean, so if there's a rain event, there's material in the curb that doesn't get washed into the drainages and ultimately to the creek. So.
Well, I love the brilliant usage for this material, to go out and use it at the landfill. It's, easily degradable, biodegradable material, and so it really works on a lot of levels.
Yeah, and just for the sake of statistics, we pick up typically over 3,000 tons of material off our roadways every year. So that's a fairly large volume of material.
Impressive. Okay, thank you. And now we have Richie Nordstrom.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To follow up with Mr. Tech again, Dale, would you speak to the air quality issue as well, expand on that a little bit, because that's another reason why we do the street cleanups, and I'd like to hear a little bit more about the air quality part
Yeah,
of it.
certainly Rapid City is in an air quality controlled area. We have air quality standards. Street sweeping is a BMP, or a best management practice, that's used to make sure there's not loose debris on the roadways that can become airborne. So that's the primary reason that we sweep in the wintertime, is to keep that air-blown debris down and to make sure that our air quality meets standards.
Thank you. And then just another follow-up is that prior to the use of these vehicles on the streets, we were approaching, and occasionally, pretty rare, but it was occasionally, we were reaching our thresholds on the air quality. And since these vehicles have been put on the streets, as best I can tell, we have not had anything close to a violation, so on the air quality side of it. So thank you for doing what you're doing, and please pass on to the staff too that's doing that as well. Thank you for their hard work on this. Yield.
All right, I don't believe we have a motion, because I didn't start with one.
Madam Chair,
Oh,
I can't remember.
I did. I said one twice. The vacuum street sweeper is estimated to cost $267,000, and so that is the item that we're looking at here. And move to approve by Nordstrom,
second.
second by Modrick. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, yeah. Motion to adjourn by Scott. Second by Roberts. All in favor? We're adjourned.
All this stuff, but look at